Hi guys, right, today I'm making a mudguard. Can't get a plastic or metal mudguard to suit the bandit wheel in the profile that I want, so I said, right, I'll make my own one. So what I'm doing here is, here's your outside edge of the mudguard, here's your inside edge. I've a piece of metal down the middle to raise the profile. What I'm going to do then is, I'm going to wrap the whole lot of it in plastic, and I'm going to make a fiberglass top mudguard for it. When that's done, when I've got my fiberglass mudguard made, I'm going to take that then, and I'm going to wrap it in copper and brass, the same as what's done with the back mudguard of the bike. So that's what my plan will be. No, the plan is one thing. Well, how it'll work out will be another thing. But that's the plan anyway. So I'm going to give that a go. I haven't made one before, so we'll see what it's like. Right, that's the fiberglass laid down now. You can see quite clearly that there's a nice sort of the profile of the tire is around there where I actually put the cable on there to give me an edge. So I'll take this off now tomorrow when it hardens, and I'll trim it off at that, and I'll trim off the other side to match, and then I can, once all trimmed off and nice and clean and ready, I can then start to wrap it in the copper and the brass. The fiberglass didn't work out quite as well as I thought it would, because the weight of the actual fiberglass, it ended up falling down both sides, so I had to sort of heap it back up before it went off to get me the shape. The shape is there. It's not as good as I wanted it to be. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it off. I'm going to trim it where I wanted to trim it, and I'm going to put a new sheet over the top to smoothen it off and get a proper shape on it, which will work fine. Then when that's all hard, I'm going to start putting the brass and the copper layers over it. So that's going to be my plan for now. So if you are actually doing this, when you've got your plastic over your wheel, put one layer of fiberglass on here, let it go hard. Do not be tempted to put any more, because the weight of the fiberglass and the resin, it'll just fall off the wheel, and there's nothing you can do to keep it on it. So one layer first, leave it go hard, then you can put as many layers as you want on it. Hey guys, right, this is the wheel of the Sidecar. Job for the weekend, new wheel bearings, take the tyre off. I'm going cutting templates for here because I want to fill in these, put mesh panels in here. What I'm going to put, the mesh I'm going to use is this. Very, very nice aluminium perforated mesh. Quite light. I'm going to try and weld them in with these things. These are called Durastick. I picked them up off the internet. They're not expensive. They're about 20 quid. The idea is you heat the metal, and theoretically, once it gets to a certain temperature, the actual stick, the rod will melt and give you a welded joint. Kind of a bit like soldering. So I'm going to try that, and we'll see how we go with that. Also, I'm going to cut myself a center hubcap made of brass. So this should make a nice job of the wheel if everything works according to plan. Okay, see you later guys, bye bye. I've taken the tyre off the wheel, getting it out the way because it's a rubbish tyre. I'm putting new tyres on it. Quick look at the tyres. 3 of them arrived this morning. They are actually fairly fancy. I'm actually well happy with them. Brilliant thread on them. So that's what's going on the wheels. Right, but getting back to it, I'm filling in these panels. Okay, so what I've done is cut a template out of cardboard and fits it in like so. Then I got the cardboard, put it onto a sheet, marked out the sheet. So this is what you've got. Always cut slightly bigger than the mark and sanded in one of these discs into the edge. It gives a much, much nicer finish. The piece I've cut will go in like so. So that's what you will end up like. I'll have 3 panels now, which will look like this mesh, which will be make the wheel pretty much solid. They'll be painted with the wheel, and they look really, really nice. At least I think they will anyway. Hi guys, right. This is the look that I'm looking for. I've got the 3 panels cut, and they're in place. They're loose in place. You'll see a dent there. That dent is to allow for the valve at the other side, so I can actually pump the tire up. Now the plan is clean off the whole wheel, get it properly cleaned, wash it down with acetone, make sure there's no residue, no dirt or nothing, because this wheel is actually powder coated, so there's quite a lot of mess to come off of it. And get these guys. What I'm actually going to try and do is I'm going to try and weld these fellas in with these guys. The plan is to heat the metal to such a point that this will melt. It's a bit like soldering, but it's alley welding. So I'm going to have a go at that. Don't know how it's going to turn out because I've never done this before. But hopefully it'll be good, and I will talk to you later. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. Right, I've removed the bearings. What I've done is I got myself a bridge bearing puller. That's this guy. 1 second now. That's this guy. What happens with this guy is a spreader. You close this in, and it spreads out at the bottom. The whole idea is it goes into the bearing, and it spreads out and it grabs the bottom of the bearing. When that's in there, then you screw it onto the end of your bridge puller like so. Bridge puller goes over the wheel. Now bear in mind, I use 2 pieces of metal here because you don't want to go damaging your wheel, so you need to spread the load. So get yourself 2 old scraps of metal or whatever, but don't put it directly onto the disc because you could end up damaging the disc. And all you do then, screw your nut and it pulls your bearing up. Now the only thing you may have to do is, because the bearings on this were really, really tight, I ended up having to put a drift through the hole here and tap the bearing on the other side just to loosen it a fraction, because this pipe is, this piece here goes in here, that was tight up against both bearings, and you need to create a tiny little gap between that and the bearing to get your lip, to get the lip that you need to fit this. Okay, right. The second bearing was a nightmare to get out. The bearing puller wouldn't pull it out, so I ended up having to use a drift and a hammer to get it out. Tap it out, but do not tap it out. What you need to spread the load. So tap it on the left, tap it on the right, tap it top, tap it bottom, and do it rotation. Don't do it all in one place, because the bearing will go crooked inside and you'll end up damaging the wall of your wheel. So that's that done. It's out. What I'm going to do now is the fitting of the new bearings hopefully will be considerably easier. I have one of these. It's for squeezing bearings. Now, a threaded bar with a couple of bolts and a couple of washers will do exactly the same job. Put your bearing in, put your 2 bearings in place, one each side, and basically all you do is you tighten it down, and it'll seat your bearings for you. So make sure everything is, before you fit the bearings, make sure the bearings are clean. Make sure everything is clean, because clean is the key here. If it's not clean, you get grit in your bearings, and the next thing you know, your bearings will be shot, and you'll end up having to redo them all over again. And it's a pain in the arse of a job, so it's not something you want to be doing every day. Hi guys, right, the mesh is done inside the wheel. Needs a small bit more fixing tomorrow, but it's all cut. And, one second now. It's all cut and fitted in there, as you can see. The bearings are done, as I showed you in an earlier video. What I've also done is I've made this little guy. I was looking for a cap to fit over where the cush drive used to be, because I don't need that no more. So what I've done is I have made a sort of a handy little, one second, no, get it fixed. I've made myself a handy little hubcap for that. Tomorrow then I'm going to put the seal. I'll put the seal for the bearing back in, and that'll be pretty much that wheel pretty much finished. Then just clean it up and it'll be ready for paint. Hubcap is now on the wheel. It's all sorted. Wheel is finished. All I've left now to do tomorrow, if I get around to it, is to put the tyre back on the wheel and stick it back on the sidecar. Back working on the mudguard for the sidecar today. I got the tyre fitted on it and I got a few other bits and pieces done, so I'm trying to get this thing sorted out now. I've made a few changes to it. I put this band on the side. I've more work to do to it. I didn't like the way it was coming down and folding over the edge, because the actual arc here wasn't matching up with the wheel of the sidecar, so it looked odd and I wasn't at all happy with it. So I took it. So what I've done is I've actually made up one of these for this side, and I'll turn around there quickly, and I've done the equivalent on the other side. Now I have a load of other stuff I need to do to it yet, sort of to make it right. But I'm still working on it. Sort of, I'm about a day and a half into this mudguard now, and I'm still working on it. But look, everything takes time, so we'll keep at it until we get it right. Hey guys, right, the mudguard is done. I have put a marker light on here, as you can see, just to let oncoming traffic know that the vehicle isn't what's coming at them isn't the motorbike. It's something a bit wider. I've made the bracket here kind of a steampunk style bracket with the sprocket in the middle. It's welded to a bush coming on that is mounted onto the axle. Around the other side then, I've continued the same type of bracket, but that's mounted onto a plate on the swinging arm down low. I've also used a sprocket there as a brace. The mount is actually it's bolted into a plate that's actually welded onto the top of the swinging arm. So it's actually rock solid. I've got a couple of bits of tidying up to do there, but for the most part it's done. It literally just needs tidying up. So that's all that for now, guys. I have another small job now that I must do. I'm actually going to weld a bar down across here, across top of that, just to strengthen up the shock mount. Okay? See you later, guys. Bye-bye.